So if you've considered selling your house, you've probably come across a whole new buyer out there, and they actually call them the iBuyer, and mainly a company called Opendoor. And you might be wondering, what in the world is an iBuyer? So on this video, I'm actually going to show you and do a complete analysis of who is Opendoor and what are the benefits and the downsides of selling your home to them. What's going on, guys? My name is Marcus, and today we're going to do a complete analysis, and we're going to be talking about one of the pioneers in the iBuyer system called Opendoor. But before we actually talk about Opendoor, I want to talk to you about really what is an iBuyer. And so basically, guys, an iBuyer is a company or a real estate investor that uses technology to make an offer on your home instantly, so as long as they have enough data on the real estate market where the home is located. Now, iBuyers use a automated valuation model known as an AVM, and actually AVMs have been around for a very long time. But nowadays, these companies are using this model or these sort of data points to make all cash offers to properties where they have enough data on. Now, the way how iBuyers operate varies from company to company, but the underlying idea is that the company estimates the value on your home and makes you an offer which is gonna be completely in cash. Now, if you accept the offer, then they basically just take on the burden of owning the property, holding it, marketing it, and then reselling the home. Now, depending on the service that you choose, the benefit is the certainty of an all cash offer and obviously more control over the sale and the move of your property. Now, another really cool benefit of selling your home to an Opendoor, one of the iBuyers, is that really you just work on your own timeline. You can actually choose when you want to close on the sale, and obviously you might be looking to line up either purchasing another property. So definitely this is extremely important if you need to move out timelines or move them down as you need to. All right, so Opendoor is really one of the true pioneers in the whole iBuyer model. I believe they've been around for about 7 or 8 years, and nowadays there's a lot more companies than how they used to be back then, but they were really one of the true pioneers in the iBuyer system. They're basically based out of San Francisco. They do not operate in every single state, in every city, so you gotta make sure that they are actually operating in whatever you are. And by the way, if you wanna get a list on the cities where they are doing business, just check out the description box below, where I'm actually going to be putting all the cities where they are operating as of right now, March 2021. Now, Opendoor buys the following types of homes: single family residences, townhomes, and in some markets, they buy duplexes and condominiums. However, they do not buy prefabricated homes or mobile homes. Okay, so how does the whole process start with Opendoor? Well, guys, listen, Opendoor is all about convenience, and they definitely made this wholesaling thing as convenient as possible. The very first step is you go on their website and you apply, and really after 24 hours, sometimes even right away, they'll give you a preliminary cash offer, and you just basically get to choose your closing date. Now, once they actually have your application, they're also going to schedule a home inspection. Now, typically in the past, they will send a home inspector to the property and do a full, thorough inspection. Nowadays, obviously with COVID-19 and trying to keep everybody safe, they're asking the seller to do a walkthrough of the home with the inspector, but it's actually going to be virtual, so it's really easy. You just get to do it yourself. Now, once you've done the inspection, the next step is Opendoor is going to schedule an Opendoor estimator who is actually going to come to the property, but they're not going to go inside. They're just going to look at the exterior of the property, and you can kind of think of the estimator as the appraiser, basically. Now, within about 5 to 7 business days, Opendoor is going to let you know, based on their findings, both the estimator and the inspector, if they are requiring any repairs on the property. If they are needed, basically the very first thing that they'll do, and to make things as simple as possible, is that they'll ask you for a credit and deduct the cost from your net proceeds. Now, you'll have the opportunity to review the amount with your experienced partner or anybody that you want, and if you actually disagree on repairs, or maybe they're just asking for just too much stuff, then you can definitely cancel the whole contract with no penalty and no fees prior to closing. Now, really, some of my clients have actually been able to negotiate a few things with Opendoor. Just ask. Not saying that they'll definitely, negotiate with you a lot on many things, because at the end of the day, they are buying the house unseen, sort of unseen, but they are definitely buying it in cash. So, there's really not that much room to beat them down, so to speak, right? But it's definitely worth asking if you're disagreeing with something that they want done. then definitely it's worth asking the question of, or maybe just negotiating back with them, and probably you'll get something a little bit better. Okay, so everything sounds amazing up to this point, and it almost sounds too good to be true. You're getting an all-cash offer with nobody actually looking at it, and everything seems to be just great. But now we really got to talk about probably the not so greatest thing about the iBuyer system is actually going to be the fees. And nowadays, right now, as of the recording of this video in 2021, Opendoor is charging a flat fee, a 5% service fee for this whole streamline service that they have going on, which might actually be worth depending on your situations and priorities as a seller. Now, if you compare this 5% fee versus the traditional way of selling a home, which will be through a listing agent and putting the house on the market and having multiple offers, etc., you're basically paying 3% for your agent and 3% for the buyer's agent. Now, depending on where you are and what state, that might be a little bit different. Maybe one agent will take a little bit less of a commission just to get the sale. But in most cases, it's about 6% on realtor fees alone if you are selling a property. Okay, but you might still just be wondering, well, 5% versus 6%, that's I'm saving 1% on this side instead of doing it with those guys. Well, that may be the case. However, you got to think about something. If you list your property on the open market, odds are you're going to get a much better offer on your home than selling it with an iBuyer. And that will definitely be true. However, you're paying for the convenience of having, one, an all-cash offer, and two, choosing the time frame when you want to close. And also, you're having really just a peace of mind of not having to deal with a buyer who may have financing and at the last minute the financing falls through. So that's really, you're paying for the convenience on the Opendoor and the iBuyer systems. On the open market, you might get a lot more for the property. However, there are reports of Opendoor really lowballing sellers, and this is something that you need to be very, very aware of, because while they do pride themselves on making the whole experience as convenient and straightforward as possible, the downfall will definitely come based on the overall purchase price of the home and the fees that they're going to be charging you. Now, typically, homes for Opendoor that they make offers on will sell for about $15,000 less than on the traditional market. And you guys can actually see that report on this place right here. Now, if $15,000 is just pocket change to you and you're just really interested in a fast, very convenient sale, then Opendoor will definitely be a good option for you. Wait a minute, but I also almost did forget one thing. Even though Opendoor right now is charging a 5% flat fee for their streamline service, that fee has actually been a lot higher in the past, and it has been as high as 14%. So I'm making this video right now, but I don't know what's going to happen in a year. They'll definitely probably change some of those fees. So it'll definitely adjust with whatever the market is. So you really got to be careful if you're going to be considering selling a home to an Opendoor or one of the other iBuyers. Really just do make sure that you understand what kind of fees they're going to be charging you. All right, so who is this for? Well, as I've basically already mentioned, this whole process is good for people who are looking to sell as quickly as possible and as conveniently and hassle-free as possible. But if you want to get the most amount of money for your property, then this is definitely not for you. Now, if you're definitely on a time crunch and you need to sell really quickly, then check out one of these iBuyer systems because they'll definitely be able to close very quickly. However, if you're okay with maybe waiting a little bit more time, being a little bit more patient, then selling your home on the open market will probably make a lot more sense because you're definitely going to get more on the sale of your home if you have multiple offers on a property, especially in this market right now. As of this recording in 2021, this is 100% a seller's market, and it really doesn't matter what state that you're in. Sellers right now command the market, and it just basically, kind of almost makes it very even, as a matter of fact. And again, if you have the time to list your home on the open market, then listing on the open market is really what's going to make the most sense for you because you're going to get the most bang for your buck. So there you guys have it. That's basically what Opendoor is, and this is really what the whole iBuyer system and the whole model, how it works. So definitely makes sense for some people, definitely makes sense for another group of people, and definitely does not make any sense for other people. So make sure that you do your homework. In my experience, it's best to check out one of these systems and obviously talk to one of the real estate agents in your market. And really, there's just a lot of advantages of working with a real estate agent because they're going to be able to share with you many things about what the market is doing. And if you're working with a very experienced real estate agent, then they're definitely going to show you a pathway and a strategy to sell your house for the most amount of money possible. And even though nowadays in 2021 there's a lot of first-time home buyers, there's also a lot of cash buyers out there. And I have definitely seen, at least in the market where I'm in, and I live in Atlanta, Georgia, which is one of the hottest markets in the nation right now, I have seen cash offers go above asking price just because the buyer wants the house. So don't be afraid to talk to an agent. Don't be afraid to put your house on the market, because it's definitely worth checking out both options right now in 2021. Now, if you guys like the video, make sure that you give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely helps the whole YouTube algorithm. And also, definitely very important, guys, if you are going through a process with an Opendoor or one of the other iBuyer system, and whatever your comments are, just put them right here on the comment box below. I really want to hear from you. I want to see how it's working for you. What are some of the good things that you're seeing, or what are some of the sort of just whatever your experience is. I'm really interested in seeing it. So make sure that you put it in the comment box below, and I'll definitely make sure that I keep you updated if I come across anything else like this. And I will definitely see you guys on the next video. Goodbye for now.